Hello dear students, in this video we'll talk about ionic bonding. Recall that covalent bonding may be either single, double or triple covalent bond, where single covalent bond is the sharing of one pair of electrons between two atoms, as in the case of hydrogen molecule. Double covalent bond is the sharing of two bonding electron pairs between two atoms, as in the case of oxygen molecule. And the triple covalent bond is the sharing of three bonding electron pairs between two atoms, as in the case of hydrogen molecule. And at the end of this video, you will be able to explain in details how an ionic bond is formed, predict the type of bonds formed in a compound based on the arrangement of atoms forming the compound, whether they are metal or non-metal, and list some differences between ionic compounds and covalent compounds. So prepare your materials and let's begin. We've explained the single, double, and the triple covalent bonding, and now we are going to explain the ionic bonding. Consider the table salt NaCl, and let's look over the type of bond between Na and Cl. First, what is the valency of Na and Cl atoms? Consider the sodium atom Na, which is a metal, and the chlorine atom Cl, which is a nonmetal. Sodium has one valence electron, so the valency of sodium is 1. It tends to lose one electron to be stable and satisfy octet rule. And the chlorine has 7 valence electrons, so the valency of chlorine is 1, since it tends to gain one electron to be stable and satisfy octet rule. Then a lone electron will be transferred from sodium atom to chlorine atom. Then Na becomes Na plus since it loses one electron, and the equation of formation of Na plus is Na giving Na plus plus one electron, and the Cl becomes Cl minus ion since it gains one electron, and the equation of formation of Cl minus is Cl plus one electron, which gives Cl minus. Then the oppositely charged ions will attract each other by an electrostatic force called ionic bond. As a summary, an ionic bond, a metal will lose electron or electrons to become a cation, where the equation of formation of this cation is X giving X and a plus N electrons. And the nonmetal will gain electron or electrons to become an anion, with the equation of formation of this anion is Y plus N electrons will give Y and minus electrons. And the oppositely charged ions will attract each other by an electrostatic force called ionic bond. Let's solve an application. We have to explain the bond formation in lithium oxide, Li2O, given that lithium having atomic number 3 and oxygen having atomic number 8. Z, which is the atomic number, is equal to the number of protons, and in a neutral atom, the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. For lithium atom, the electron configuration of lithium is K2L1. Li has one valence electron, then it is in a group 1, which is to the left of the stirred-up line. Then Li is a metal, and the valency is equal to 1. Then Li tends to lose one electron to be stable and satisfy duet rule, forming Li plus ion. And for oxygen atom, the electron configuration of oxygen is K2L6. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons on its valence shell L. Then it is in group 6 or column 16, which is to the right of the stirred-up line. Then oxygen is a nonmetal. The valency is equal to 2. Then oxygen gains or tends to gain 2 electrons to be stable and satisfy octet rule, forming oxygen or O2- ion. Then the oppositely charged ions will attract each other by an electrostatic force called ionic bond. Consider the two compounds water H2O and table salt NaCl. What is the type of chemical bond in each? In water molecule H2O, we have two single covalent bonds, while in NaCl, we have an ionic bond. So this compound is called molecular compound since it contains only covalent bonds, while this compound is called ionic compound since it contains an ionic bond. So molecular compounds contain single, double, or triple covalent bonds formed between two nonmetals. So in molecular compounds, a nonmetal plus nonmetal will give the covalent bond. While in ionic compound, the ionic bond is formed, and it is formed between a metal and a nonmetal. Now let us know some differences between molecular and ionic compounds. First, which compound has a higher boiling point? Given that water has a boiling point 100 degrees Celsius, while that of table salt is 1465 degrees Celsius. So we can say that ionic compounds have higher boiling points than molecular compounds. Now, which compound has a higher melting point? Also, given that the melting point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, while that of table salt is 801 degrees Celsius. So, the ionic compounds have higher melting points than molecular compounds. Now, what about conduction of electricity? Which compound conducts electricity? As we see, distilled water does not conduct electricity, while table salt dissolved in water conducts electricity. So we can say that distilled water is a non-electrolyte, while table salt dissolved in water is an electrolyte. Thus, ionic compounds conduct electricity when dissolved in water, and they are called electrolytes, while molecular compounds do not conduct electricity, and they are called non-electrolytes.